Welcome back. We're joined now by our executive editor, Hugh Doherty. Hughie, every time you join us, the world just gets crazier and crazier. Can you be our finance bro for a minute? Do you need a Patagonia vest? You always look so smart in your suit. And as we say in the office, they talk to the jacket, they talk to the shirt, they talk to the jacket, they talk to the tie. Michael Daly says that they talk to the tie, which is why we try and encourage our interns to look smart. Liam, I'm thinking about you. Can you help us decipher the stock market and what on earth is going on?
I can say to you, Joanna, Sam, thank you for having me here. Crack open a Pilsner, down 20 pills, knock back a cappuccino, and get ready for a wild ride.
How much wilder can it get?
I just got a knot in my neck and I can feel it. It's like an egg that costs $18.
That's imported, and therefore it will go up by 26%.
Yeah.
The stock market is going on broadly. It's been on its way down, and we're recording this on Liberation Day +7 for
Right.
those who are
God,
counting.
has it been that
Yes.
long?
It's been,
Right.
and there's been 5 days of trading, and the stock market has lost, as we all know, quite a lot of value. And even on the way down, it looks a bit like a heart rate monitor, but
Yeah.
not in a good way.
Right, a heart rate monitor that's literally monitoring a heart attack and you're not sure if they're going to survive.
Liberation Day, so we've all been liberated from sleeping well.
Your hair looks very good. I'm
Thank you
just
so
saying,
much.
just to interrupt, but we have to
I gave it a
enjoy the
fluff.
small things.
I gave
too.
it a little fluff.
Yeah, it looked very good.
We have
Hughie,
to live in.
please
We have to live. We
continue.
have to live in the moment.
We
Live
do.
in the moment because
We
there is
do.
nothing else. Also, Donald Trump lives in the moment.
Well, Donald Trump is the one person who doesn't seem to be having a heart attack about this. He has tweeted things like "Be cool" and "Good time to buy"
Yes, and Hank Tough.
and Hank
Hank
Tough.
Hank Tough,
Advice-
Don't
everybody.
be a panicking.
Don't be a panican. I don't. I truly don't understand that one.
We don't yet know of anybody who's literally a panicking. We'll see if it's a genetically modified version of a Republican and a pelican. But Trump is trying to look unbothered. He is looking unbothered.
Right.
He is giving long speeches and he's talking about how this is what he intended. And there are people in MAGA who are saying this is great. This is what they voted for. Now, did everybody who voted for Trump vote for that? It's not looking that way.
Nobody knows anything. It is that wonderful William Goldman expression, which Derek Thompson actually used to describe this in The Atlantic this week. It's chaos. It's
Yeah,
chaos.
it's
And
chaos.
the thing that I find very amusing is the idea that Trump's strutting around saying, oh, every single country, every single world leader is calling me. And you realise that his obsession with being the centre of attention and driving attention is now global. And I remember Michael Wolff saying this to me, you know, the author of All or Nothing. It's like you build up a tolerance to alcohol or caffeine. He builds up a tolerance to the amount of attention he needs. And he needs it now on a global scale, and he's got it. And he claims that world leaders are calling him, 50 world leaders called because they need his attention.
Do we think that is true? It doesn't feel, that does not ring true to me, but are you hearing that that's
I
true?
think we have
How
no
would we
way of
know?
knowing.
We're seeing there's something in that direction. Joanna, you mentioned Michael Wolff, and I feel duty-bound to mention the White House always, when Michael Wolff is mentioned, describes him as a lying sack of excrement.
It's true, they
Yes.
do, but he does talk to a lot of people
And
there.
he absolutely talks to a lot of people. And one of the things that's very clear is that they might not be speaking to world leaders. They are speaking to each other, and they are feuding with each other. And
Yes.
the feuding is dominating what's going on in DC.
So what are the camps? We've got Elon versus Peter Navarro, and Elon, was Xing or tweeting on Saturday. He's since deleted his tweets, which is always amusing when they do that too. You just feel this sense of men out of control. The women have completely retreated, apart from Susie Wiles versus Laura Loomer. But Melania's not there, Ivanka's not there, even Tiffany is not there anymore.
If I can quote the White House press secretary here,
Yes.
Caroline Leavitt said, "Boys will be boys." And that's what appears to be happening. There are rival camps, and quite how they divide up is, it's like one of those, it's like Squid Game or something. Suddenly
Right,
one of the
sort
camps is
moving
just very moving.
alliances, Right.
Right.
So Elon Musk is without doubt a free trader. He's not in favour of tariffs, and he's been very clear about that. He's also not in favour of the trade advisor, Peter Navarro, who is very much in favour of tariffs. And that's exploded into the open on X and on television. Peter Navarro is a consistent television performer, and he's himself an unusual background for a Republican. He was a very left-wing, left-of-centre Democrat. He's got Harvard PhD, and he is an unusual character who's not described as somebody that is credible by other aides from the first Trump administration. He then went to prison for defying an order to testify in front of Congress. When in prison, he boned up on tariffs. He watched CNBC round the clock, and he came out refreshed, renewed, and ready to fight China. On the other side of this equation,
I'm writing that sentence down. When in prison, he boned up on tariffs. I'm actually writing that down because that is just so emblematic of
People
this
do say
administration.
in prison that you get a lot of time to
When
focus.
in prison,
you can get a lot
he
done.
boned up
Sama,
on
if
tariffs.
If you're rounded up, you've got to make use of
I'm
it.
never going to forget that you said this. Okay, go ahead.
So what
Sorry.
will you bone up on, Sam, when you're in prison?
Tariffs.
I'll
That's
come
what you
and
do.
see you.
Come
I'll
on.
come and see you.
Thank you.
It does look like Peter Navarro and Elon Musk have gone at it in public. Behind the scenes, our national correspondent David Gardner, in his unmissable swamp email newsletter, which I would urge everybody to subscribe
It's
to
so
find
good.
out
The
about the
Swamp
secrets of
is so
DC.
good.
He's got a story about Howard Lutnick, and Howard Lutnick has been out there like nobody else talking about tariffs and talking about how this is going to bring trade and manufacturing back to the United States. As the Swamp reports, people are beginning to tire of this inside the Trump circles. And Lutnick told an audience of high-powered executives that he speaks truth to power. And the reaction that we heard from a source inside the circles was only if he says what the powerful want to hear, and they mean Donald Trump. So he's in one camp. Peter Navarro is with him, but they would certainly be willing to split if that was needed. Elon Musk is another, and Scott Bessent is almost in a fourth camp, that he is out there pushing the case for tariffs. He says that they're non-negotiable, but that there can be negotiation. And I would invite you to try and follow that logic. Sam, maybe you need to bone up on how you can be
When
open
in prison,
to negotiation.
she boned up on tariffs.
Yeah.
I love the idea that Howard Lutnick is saying, he's one of the few to speak truth to power, and also that he hired Elon and told Elon what to do.
Yes, that's another revelation that's in the Swamp this week, that he described himself as hiring Elon. And I think we can all guess that really Trump would say that he's hired Elon, and there's only one star in Trump world, and I doubt that Elon would regard himself as being hired in any way.
And certainly not by Howard Lutnick.
Elon has a net worth, even though it's coming down this week, of about 150 times that of Howard Lutnick. So when it comes to billionaires competition,
He's got a cushion. He's got a bit of a cushion. It seems like the only person who everybody should be talking to right now is Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer is back. And I thought the whole point of someone like Susie Wiles, who we're, constantly being told is the one that is running the place with great discipline, was supposed to keep Laura Loomer out of there. And somehow Laura Loomer got back into the White House.
Elbows up, Susie Wiles. Elbows up.
well, Laura Loomer and Susie Wiles have both said that they like each other, but they haven't both said that they want each other to be in the same place. And Laura Loomer, just to give everybody a quick recap of her career, she's been a 9/11 truther.
Yeah.
She's been a vocal Trump supporter. She's an unsuccessful run as the Republican candidate for the district that Mar-a-Lago is in, because she wanted to be Trump's own congresswoman. And
That's ambition for you.
it is ambition. And she now is trying to get a government contract to do security and background checks on new hires. But she's been freelancing at that anyway. She went in to see Trump on Liberation Day. I'll just remind you of that great day when we were liberated, Sam.
Yeah.
After he'd liberated the world, or America, or people from their 401ks, he went inside and he met Laura Loomer, and he listened to her reservations about some senior people in the National Security Council, and they were liberated from their employment at the National Security Council as a result. So Laura Loomer's gone in and given this display of power, And Susie Wiles, who is known to oppose Laura Loomer in all shapes and forms, has been powerless to stop it. So there's a real sense of this discipline that Susie Wiles was supposed to bring, beginning to crack at the edges. And Elon Musk tweeting or Xing that Peter Navarro is, among other things, a moron and dumber than a sack of bricks, and even a fairly horrible slur, shows that there's a beginning of the end, perhaps, of Susie Wiles' appearance of power.
We've just been liberated from all reason.
It's just
Untethered.
And of course he doesn't show any stress because he's at the centre of attention.
Yeah.
And that's what fuels him and gives him energy. And
he's the star of the TV show.
yeah,
And
he's the
that-
star of the show.
And that feels great.
Every time I walk past Hugh's office, I can hear Donald Trump's voice just booming out of one of the 4 televisions that's on.
I hate to say that every time we talk about him, I get a stomachache, but I do. I actually get a cramp in my stomach.
It's just...
Well, it's lucky that pharmaceuticals aren't being tariffed yet, Sam.
Yet. I got to
Well, the
go
ones that are
stock
being
up
made
on
in China
Rolaids.
The ones that have been made in China are, and Trump has promised special pharmaceutical tariffs as well. So enjoy your French
So stock
face
up now.
cream while you
Stock
can,
up.
Joanne.
I'm going to be using it in tiny quantities.
That's
You might
just
have to pay
tiny
Sam a tariff just for giving you that present.
That's just going to be
I
me
will
on the
do.
subway, just like hoovering pills of all different shapes and sizes.
It's a show. It's
Down
a
them
show.
while they're cheap.
All right,
Great.
Hugh, thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming in and whipping Sam up into a frenzy.
Yes.
And
Thank you. As
Thank
always.
you for having me.
more to come.